Alright everyone, welcome back to some professional and amateur StarCraft 2. You've made your comments, you've made your criticisms and your critiques. You've put a lot of effort in to saying how these pro players should play, why you could do it better, or at least if you were still playing and had played at any point since Wings of Liberty. But today is that opportunity to find out how well those players hold up. It is pros versus Joes. Dricket, the organizer of the Grandmaster Battle Royale and so many other show matches, has brought professional players together, just to name a few. BeastyQT, Starkiller, Cuddle Bear. We've got WCS qualified players. Cham, who's the best player from Mexico, right behind Special, and more in the future. But we've got a lot of games where professional players play 1 versus 2 up against Diamond Leaguers. And unless otherwise specified, they are Diamond Leaguers. Here are the stipulations. Here are the rules. There aren't many. The only in-game restriction is no double worker rush. Because there are more than 2 players, we must play on 2v2 maps. It is a little mathematically impossible. Not even most professionals, though I'm sure there are some that could handle it, are going to take 24 workers moving against 12. But you want a 12 pool? Go right ahead. You want a proxy Rex? Give it a shot. You want to rush Nidus? You want to go for the cannons? Is that your best chance? You figure it out. And this is not for fun. If the pros are able to win, they get $50. And if the Joes are able to win, they... What do we give? What are we giving the Joes besides? Well, do the Joes ever win? That's another good question. Oh, do the Joes also win $50? Wait, we're giving money to... Well, in a hypothetical to these nerds. But apparently also when, if and when, I expect there's some, the Joes lose, they also get a little bit of coaching from the players telling them, come on guys, you couldn't even win 2v1? I've seen you in Twitch chat. You told me how to play in Twitch chat. What happened in the game? But, well, let's get our first game. We have a selection of games. Dricket put on a bunch, but we have a wide variety of players. We're going to do it. I was debating whether we go one game at a time, but I think I just want to show as many games as possible in a relatively short span of time. I don't know how long the games are, but we're probably going to be showing 5 or 6 or somewhere around there. But we'll see. Let's get into the very first match. Probably someone a lot of you guys will recognize. In the bottom right, your Jimmy, is now really the time? Okay. Thank you. Your professional player. Also a very active streamer and content creator. Can he create a victory for himself on the battlefield? We're on Emerald City, a relatively macro-based 2v2 map, but he's all by himself. It is BeastyQT. And in the top left, the Joes, the Diamond League players. Will they be Diamond League delights or Diamond League disasters? In the top left, the Protoss, Cobblestone, cobbled together. And joining him is Evil Wasp from the EV1 or Evil Clan. That is a pretty scary name. Unfortunately, we cannot use the WCS overlay because we have such an odd number of players, and that is literal. The professional-looking overlay, ironically enough, doesn't work in this scenario where we have a 1 versus 2, because this is not competitive, as they say in StarCraft. But we'll find out how competitive it is. This is your chance. And if you want to find out more, and it looks like none of the players across the board are cheesing, you can check out Drickit on Twitter or the Grandmaster Battle Royale Patreon, which also kind of just goes to all these other show matches we're doing nowadays, as opposed to just Grandmaster Battle Royale. And I'm sure Drickit will remind me of all the exciting and incredible ways that maybe you can get in on these matches. We might have that next level of like well, these Diamond Leaguers, I'm gold, but these Diamond Leaguers, I don't know. Like, I think I could have played better. Well, maybe you'll get your shot. We'll find out. But Evil Wasp will open things up. And by the way, the Joes are allowed to be in communication. They know who they're playing with. It's not like a random queue. They can be on Discord, talking with each other, working out their strats. So they have every advantage. The only thing they're not allowed to do is the double drone rush. That's the simple version. And that leaves you with a few options. Like, do you want to go straight macro? Do you want to just try to bring 400 supply of armies onto the board? Or do you want to try to kill him early because he's either, one, going to be going for macro, or possibly just trying to knock out one of the Joes? Those are the most reliable strategies for these kind of situations. Reaper not able to pick up any kills. Adept gonna join it, though. We will have to see. In comes the Adept. Looks like it will get cleared up here pretty easily. The Shade completes. A bit ambitious. And now Beastie. He's got plenty of Zerglings. The Reaper going to be heading out, I think alerted by his teammate. The Lings finish up speed. There is a wall at the front. In fact, there's an Oracle done, a Stargate completed by Cobblestone. The Oracle's just going to be heading straight across. Is this actually a wall? Oh, the Reaper is stuck, but Beastie not going to waste too many of his Zerglings. He's just going to come around the side. There's a big open area here, so that seems like a bit of a glaring weakness. The Oracle going to come in. Pretty well microed against the drones so far. He's targeting them down instead of just going for the Queen, but the Zerglings are in the natural. Widowmine, Beastie tries to bait it out, doesn't find a connection. The Marines are helping to protect the probes, but he's got to be careful. That Widowmine also one-shots probes. It doesn't discriminate. They're really trying to make sure this is indeed a wall. All the Lings are coming in again, trying to target the Widowmine. They're going to find it. So far, Beastie, he's able to lay down 38 drones. He's got his lair on the way. Some static defense in the form of Spore Crawlers. The Lings run back into the natural. Marine's going to help gun things down, looking for more probes here. Now, the Joes have established their bases pretty well, losing a few in the way of probes here. In fact, wait, this is an interesting switch-up. The direct swerve from Stargate straight into a warp prism. Doesn't look like there's much other tech here right now. The gateways will wall off this location, and no longer will Lings threaten the natural, at least for now. Until these rocks are taken down. After the rocks are taken down, then it's anybody's bet. Jimmy. We require... You must construct additional sound channels. War Prism on its way across. The question is, for what purpose? He has 4 gateways, but no other tech. So this could just be gateway unit warpins. It looks like the Lings will be driven back for now. The Joes are building up. The combined supplies, 115 up against 79. The pings, actually that's Beastie pinging. I think he was just checking what building he was dealing with there, which you can do through the Fog of War once you've actually spotted the building. Third command center on the way. The Joes, a dangerous game indeed. A macro game. Beastie, of course, very comfortable in this scenario, even playing as Zerg. For those who know him best, know his Terran was previously professional, still very good. Plays random at probably the highest level of anyone, especially outside of Korea. So his Zerg, I'm sure, is entirely competent and more than GM. But maybe his weakest race. Is that going to matter? Well, we still haven't really figured that out. The gold base being taken by Evil Wasp. Or not. Looks like one Zergling scared him off. They are very cute and or scary. It's like scary is the out. The pickup again. The beautiful war chest skins. Maybe they got these war chest skins by watching Beasty's stream. It's possible. And another medevac at the back. A Phoenix is hiding in the trees, waiting for its moment. A double Archon drop coming together. The Joes with... The Tree Phoenix! The Tree Nix! But the drops are coming in. Plenty of medevacs. Where is the Archon drop? The Joes are a triple prong combined attack. The coordination is there. The co-op mission has begun. Another drop comes out. The medevac will be gunned down, but the Marine's going to do some damage to Beasty. The Archon's kind of just doing their thing. A little bit less focused on that, but what kind of defense is there for this many Mutalisks? The probes are under fire. I don't know if killing creep tumors is the top priority for these Archons. Beasty has cleaned up one drop. He's still worrying about his drones. He's microing his Mutas. A very high priority right now, as that's his only real counter damage. Finally, the last Marauder is cleaned up. Beasty on the other side going to work on the workers. The worker count has dipped. Beasty still at 78. That is more than the combined total of the Joes. And there's going to be a lot of math in these. Okay, well, that's no longer accurate. Oh my god, Archons, their power overwhelming. Now, there's going to be a lot of math in these matches, I'm going to warn you, as you have to combine the Joe's supply, so that way they can at least pretend to be close to our professional player. So, I'm going to be doing a lot of math on stream. Don't blame me. Don't judge me. I don't need your criticism, my Diamond League mathematicians. The planetary, it cannot fly, and therefore cannot live. Beasty taking big chunks out of the economies, but Archon drops. Lings and Lisks do not fare well against him. That Archon drop still scary, but Beasty's on an intercept course. He's got a whole lot of Mutas. This Archon drop will be going down. The question is, can he take any Mutas with it? He has done a bit of a number on the drone count. I don't know. That's a bit optimistic. The Archons will be recalled, but they'll be destroyed before they can come home again. The worker count for Beasty's at 70. It got knocked down a bit, but he's sitting on 4 bases. The one advantage the pros have is we're kind of forced to play on these 2v2 maps. So that opens up two players worth of bases for the pro player. They still have to spend the money taking them. They still have to build up and defend those bases, but they do have a little bit easier access to more economy if they can take it. The probes being slaughtered. The Muta's going to work. Beasty keeping both Joes on their toes. 159 to over 200 combined supply, but you got to remember, not all that's an army. Mutaling, though. Is there a Baneling nest? I assume there is. It's on the field. A drop at the back, gonna drag things. Combat shield is almost done. He didn't forget. He just was fashionably late. The Mutas are gonna go to work. Looks like he'll get 1 or 2. Not a bad pickup, and the big win. He actually dragged all the units back. Beasty with a Joe-like F2 hotkey will give the Joes an opportunity to stabilize. And now, suddenly, the armies, Lings and Mutas, are great for 1v1, but 1v2, these are not cost-effective units. These are units you go wave after wave, you grind your opponents down, but when there's 2 of them, it becomes a little more difficult. This is not an incredibly cost-effective trade. He's trying to pick off units, but he's losing a lot of Mutas in the process. The Protoss army is coming across as well for Cobblestone. They've put together some strong forces. More Banelings going to be needed by Beasty. A strong attack is coming across the map. 260 supply of units is more than you're used to facing. Beastie trying to do some counter damage here, but I don't know. He has to double base trade. The Spine Crawlers holding the line. Doing their absolute best. But is their best good enough? GG. Beastie just taps it out. He's already whittled down too many mutants, and we opened it up. The Joes. I don't know. I don't know why I felt like pro players were going to be guaranteed a victory. I feel like going in, everybody's looking at it, and somehow I set the stage like the pros were the big juggernauts to be taken down, but the macro play from Cobblestone and Evil Wasp, enough to eventually build up an economy, do a push, and 260 supply is nothing to sneeze at. So Beastie will fall in this match. He has other opportunities. They didn't just play one game. Okay. And there are more players. I'm just going to be rotating through all the players here. Well, first, let's get game number 2 of BeastyQT. He wanted a rematch. He's allowed to request one. He did pick random in that match. But in this match so far, more shit counters less shit. As in the great Starcraft proverb. I think another, because we've done a few of these matches, and if this makes it to YouTube, we'll take this time and smash that like button. Like the Joes smashed Beastie in our first game. But I feel a singular game is always, because you take the little, I was telling Dricket about this, who organized these matches, but everyone has strong opinions. When you got your Twitch chat grandmasters, your armchair WCS players, not that I think many of them are sitting in an armchair, but I like the idea. Everybody has strong opinions based on, oh, they cheesed, but they failed and panicked. Therefore, these are terrible diamond players. Or the pro player made one mistake. Oh, he's washed up. And it seems to be magnitude, I skipped my sentence, but it seems to be amplified to another level of magnitude when we throw these pros versus Joes matches in. So I wanna show a whole spread of them. I guarantee you some of these matches the pros win. Okay? I don't know which ones. I actually thought that last match Beastie won, but so the whole naming scheme we have for the replays is obviously not holding up. But and then obviously some matches the Joes lose. By the end of this, we'll find out what's more likely. Oh, the duel. The duel. No expansion for you, says Beastie. By the way, this time playing Protoss. Oh, he's going to block the other one. There are 2 probes down here. 1 Beastie probe is worth 2 Cobblestone probes. And another block. Can you name anything more annoying than a probe? The probe, the most annoying and potentially devastating unit in the entirety of StarCraft. And it looks like they're just going to give up. He's going to take 2 probes. He's going to block his own Nexus with one of them. He's trying to come back. Beastie has successfully blocked 2 bases with a single probe, plus 2 workers of no... Oh my god. His own workers are blocking, and the probe's in the base. It's in. It's gonna get a full scout. Probius rising. Is the Reaper gonna come back? No, the Reaper's halfway across the map. This probe Just poking and prodding and blocking. He will spot the command center. Beastie has expanded. Oh, looks like he killed an SCV or a pro, and he's expanded to the safety of his own base. Beautiful stutter step micro. Oh yeah, by the way, I think part of this was inspired. Cobblestone stole Beastie's gas, which is in many cultures considered to be a total dick move. So I'm sure he wasn't happy about that. It seemed like he put a little bit of extra effort into that probe micro. By the way, they don't see the probe. So what does Beastie? He's got a dark shrine being built, and he. Oh my God! The next level mind games. I'm not sure if this is going to be effective against the Joes, but he's put it where you would put a shield battery or a cannon. And because of the look of the dark shrine, if you don't actually click on it and you just see that small building, do you think, like, you just take a glance? You just take a glance. Does that look like a dark shrine to you? Is this gonna be, is Beastie gonna pull a long-time Joe move of building a pylon in his opponent's base and warping in DTs? What a classic tactic. I mean, he's not hedging his entire bet on that. Okay, he will build a pylon in their base. But he's also got, of course, a proxy and a gateway. The Dark Shrine is nearly complete. What kind of detection? Well, we just saw an observer.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Into the base go the deets! And suddenly... Wait, where did the... Oh, he went all the way to the other base! He went all the way to Cobblestone's base because he knew he'd have another DT. He's hitting... Well, he's only hitting one base at once because meanwhile, the Widow Mine's one kill. Only one kill there. That Widow Mine only one kill. Somehow negating a full Widow Mine drop. Only 2 kills total. Is there an observer? The observer comes back home to deal with this. SCVs being sliced and diced. Another deep coming in. The Cape Boys going to work. Down goes one, but the SCV count has plummeted, as have the probes. Beastie still at 47 workers. Oh my God, no probe, no Cobble probe survives. They ain't no Probius. And of course, Beastie's probe has survived this whole ordeal, blocking multiple bases, surviving, and then literally just tucking himself into the corner. There's a scan. He's going for stim. The DT won't be microed away, but another one, 17 kills, about to become an executor. There it is, the promotion. He is now an executor and will be killed for his efforts. Another DT going to work. The observers are scrambling around. Another scan. Now the one thing that Evil Wasp did here. The one thing that might be the saving grace is he took the gold. There are 8 probes left. There are 8 probes left for Cobblestone. He has less than he started with. Now, yeah, that's the missile turrets. That's not how they got in here, my friend. Missile turrets are kind of locking the barn door after the horsehead is already in your bed situation. Don't worry about it. Okay, a few stalkers in the middle of the map. Blink is done for Cobblestone, but he won't be making any more units that soon. With Blink done, 5 more gateways. Beastie on a solid 2-base economy, where Cobblestone finds himself on a no-base economy. Finally, the probe. Press F to pay respects. The probe will fall, but so, in revenge, will Evil Wasp's base. The desperate last stand from Cobblestone. This is all he's got. He also has a disruptor. Wait, what? He has a disruptor. This is their attack. Beastie comes in. He warped in all his stalkers. The disruptor is holding, waiting for its shot. He's gonna fire. Beastie blinks over the top. He blocks on him. Cobble tries to blink away. There's nowhere to run. He will stalk you to the ends of the base. The observers stand by, but not for he tries to blink out. No, you're locked in here with me. Beastie cutting him up, forcing the attack, and then knocking it down. I still hear I believe this DT has also killed the Nexus. And also a tank, and counting. Zealot's going to work. All the stalkers coming across. 63 combined Joe supply up against 91 of BeastyQT. The Blink Stalkers. Not always that great in a straight-up fight, but this isn't a straight-up fight. This is a beatdown. This time, though, Beastie choosing the aggressive tactics, throwing the Joes off balance, not letting them do their finely tuned game plan. Does not survive contact with the enemy. Beastie knocks down the disruptor a split second before the Nova explodes. Are there still DTs in the main? Doesn't matter. GG. Not this time. Beastie takes it home. Off the back of a pylon in the base. But if it works, if it ain't broke. But Beastie proves his worth. And also, Zerg is really tough. Like, I don't think it's so much Beastie not being strong with Zerg that he struggled. It's Zerg, the way Zerg is designed, and obviously the races are designed to be balanced at 1v1. And Zerg doesn't have nearly as many super cost-effective options for facing two players at once. That's kind of, I mean, that's just kind of how it is sometimes. I guess it depends a little bit on the build you choose, the style. But, overall, Beastie using that very cost-effective unit combination. But first, well, and not first. This is not even close to first. Instead, next, we have a new player. A new challenger approaches. Where's my, like, Pokemon? We gotta get on that, Jimmy. Okay. We're gonna work on that. But we have Cham. Cham, a top Grandmaster, a WCS Challenger. He's from the North American region. He is the second best Mexican player behind Special. He's been a Challenger for many seasons now. Let me just, you know what, let's list this off. Like, BeastyQT has won $26,000 in Starcraft 2 and many more hearts and minds through his stream. Cham has won $73,000 and is currently ranked number 13 in WCS. But can he handle the Joes? Let me first introduce you to the Joes. Our Diamond Challengers. Here on, I forget the name of this map after we load it in. It is the green one, though. That's pretty good. But relatively short rush distance, actually. Fun fact. Living Dead. So playing Undead, which I heard for Warcraft Reforged, is actually playable. I don't know about the balance. Please argue about the balance of Warcraft 3 in the comments below. Get that engagement going. Can you actually play Undead in 2019? Let's find out. But it's Living Dead and joining him. If I were a soup. A question we've all pondered, or at least, I guess... Wait a second. Cham. So I was talking about how Zerg struggles against just the sheer amount, like the cost efficiency of Zerg is not high enough. Cham is a WCS ranked Zerg player. But these are extreme circumstances, okay? He's got 2 players to kill at once, and he's the expert in what's most effective against Zerg and then some. So he's decided this time. Yeah, apparently some of the pro players decide that they do switch up their race or play random. Maybe they take the Joes a little too lightly early on. We saw Beastie do that to an extent. But Reapers are one of the best units for really taking control of the early game. One, he's going to be able to wall off the front. Nothing's getting in. And also, of course, Reapers have incredible micro potential. If there's one thing these professional players have over the Diamonds, over the Joes, is going to be that APM in the early game. A lot of Diamond players have 200 APM in the early game, but not a lot of them have 200 actions per minute. They'd be lucky to get half that. So when they see these Reapers coming in, they might have a tendency to panic. Now, while they might be backing each other up, they're on Discord, they're coordinating, that doesn't mean they're not going to panic when a few Reapers start jumping into the base, especially Zerg. This triple Reaper build has been a nightmare to even Living Dead Zergs for many years now. Not as common at the professional level, but still very deadly, especially when half of your base is a Reaper clip. He's actually going toe-to-toe with Stalkers. That's how you know things are getting dicey. Where are the Zerglings in support? The Reaper microed back, but actually just kind of disappeared, so weird animation glitch there. Zergling speed is about to finish. He's really hanging his teammate out to dry right now. But here comes Zerglings with speed. He micros back. Cham dodging away, using the grenades. Gonna go right back in to Soup's base. Dead doing his best to trap these Reapers. Cham playing a dangerous, deadly dance. He's brought reinforcements in. Looks like he's gonna lose one. Another grenade, he slips through. Juke Skywalker. Another one from the side. How has he not lost anything? Another Reaper. What? Are you kidding me? Cham has lost 1 Reaper. The predictive nades. Another one. A big pop right in the center mass. Another shot. Another grenade. Bringing them back into the orange and the yellow. A whole bunch more Zerglings on the way out, but there's only 24 drones, remember. Behind this, Cham is double expanding, by the way. He's already finished his second base. He's going for a third. But he's going to work on these Zerglings. The cost efficiency is actually pretty disgusting. I was talking about that. And here you see it demonstrated. Oh, but wait a second. They get the wraparound. Down goes one. Another one. You got to be careful. If you chase too far, the Reapers start taking too many shots. He lost 2 more Reapers. But the Zerglings are no match. And yes, of course, those Reapers, they heal. Give them a second. Even better than shields. The Reaper count is starting to get into double digits. That's when, if the Stalkers aren't here, a new challenger approaches again. The Stalker's going to drive the Reapers back. Remember, he has to maintain an aggressive... If he doesn't keep the pressure on, and the Joes are allowed to stabilize, eventually they're just going to be able to shut down the Reapers outright. I mean, an Immortal is a pretty good counter to Reapers. I haven't seen Reapers kill Immortals incredibly often, but these are special tactics from a Mexican Terran, so... The recall comes out, but before it can really come through, he slaughters some of the probes. At the front, a wall. A whole bunch of banelings on the way. Can he get through the wall? The double bunker. He's really going to try to bash through this. He'll get through the wall, but then what? Oh, wait a second. The Reapers are trapped on the wrong side of history. There's some Marines here. He runs right through the grenades, hit him in the face. He'll be able to kill everything on the low ground. There is a triple depot wall at the top of the ramp. There is no teammate support here, by the way. There's still a whole lot in the way of Zerglings. The Reapers will be able to clean them up eventually, but Cham has to worry about putting out fires on his own side of the map. Every second counts here. Every second the pressure lets up. The Joes get a little bit more time to breathe. He's going to run all the way. No, there's no, you can't leave now. There's no more leaving. Will he get the tank? It looks like that's a yes. Will he get anything else? Probably not. I lied. The target fires there. Pretty good Zergling micro, and he seems to be spending his money decently well. The Stalkers show up, saying, oh, did you lose all your Zerglings? Wow, what a perfect opportunity for me to tap on these barracks a little bit. What a great team player. Here comes a War Prism, though. This is the real threat. The first tank was taken down by Lings. The second one will prompt... Oh, this is a bit of a risky move. Sending the Reapers out? The Observer's gonna spot it. But did they download the Minimap DLC that allows them to actually see their minimap with their eyes as opposed to ignoring it like many Diamond players? It appears so. The Stalkers are already at home. One Reaper gonna be taken down before any shots. Is Blink done? No charges. Not a single Zealot, though. Unfortunately, the Stalkers are on the wrong side of the ramp. The probes are trying to fight, but they're being slaughtered. The worker count for Soup down to 38. 51 drones, though. 52 SCVs for Cham. The Reapers will be cleaned up. The result of this... a Protoss base in disarray. A Zerg player who's struggling to recover in tech, but has done a pretty good job in drones. And a Zerg main and capable Terran who has 3 bases, 60 SCVs, +1 finishing up. Tanks, Marines. So Cham, well, he did not knock them out. He definitely did some heavy damage. The unit's lost. He's taken out 4,200 plus to 2,300 lost of his own, and those are just Reapers. Reapers, at some point, he's lost the value. Some charge lots being warped in. Unfortunately, that means the Liberator going to work on the probes. Some of the Zealots inspired to attack SCVs. Some of them really just hate buildings. Oh my god. The Liberator sieges up as the probes transferred into the main. Go to the natural. It's a disaster. The Liberator, 13, 14, however many kills. He's microing on the wrong side of the map. Oh my god. It's a massacre. 20 probes. He was microing his charge lots for what they were worth. And he's going to be charged a lot for that, as he loses 20 probes to the Liberator. And we're not done. Soup is down to 13. Will he have less than he started with? The Liberator unsieges. Looks like he's just gonna leave. So now Soup once again crippled. He has something of an army, but he won't be building much more for a while. And the Liberator gets out. Insult to critical injury. The rocks will be taken down in the center. Be careful what you do. Because once those rocks are taken down, that works both ways. A 4th base is coming up by Cham. 74 SCVs. The one thing Cham is lacking are those 2-2 upgrades. With those, he could maybe secure... Oh no. Deja vu. 26. The queen. Oh my. Cham is like, oh, looks like you took down the rocks. How kind of you. Where are the medevacs? He has not built any Where are the medevacs? Some stalkers being ferried into the main, but the missile turret. Okay, so there are no medevacs with this army. That seems like an oversight. That's the one thing, because he keeps stimming. Combat shield isn't quite done yet. If he stims again, a lot of these units are easily one baneling hit from death. Soup will be going... What is this? What am I watching? Nope. Oh, okay. Yep, this is not... This is off the beat. This is why the tour guide said don't go off the path. The stalkers not quite in the right... They did not realize they were not in their own main. So where are the medevacs? That is the question. The only saving grace for the Joes might be the lack of medevacs. Down goes another base as the Joes struggle to keep things together. Living Dead's showing some incredible patience with this engage. A little bit, he slipped a bit on holding on to his base, but he didn't just run into the siege tanks. So, well done by him. But here come the Hydras. He's gonna back off. There will be one chance to break this. One medevac shows up, overworked and underpaid. But we'll heal some of these Marines. The Zealots. Tank shells raining down every second makes it harder to see a realistic break out here. 200 combined supply against 200 supply. Some charge lots can maybe lead the way. 2-2 is about to finish up for Cham. Once 2-2 finishes, this army is about as good as it's going to get for a while. He's trying to bait the banelings into the tanks. Soup is at 20 probes. The Terran army. Unfortunately, the rally point is not an ideal location. He's really trying to bait some of these units. I think at this point, Cham's realized this might be the time. They might need to go. Here come the charge slots all in front. Whole lot of tanks. Beautiful concave. They're going to try to break. Hydras, Lings, and Banes. Unfortunately, the concave is maintained. There are no medevacs, but they're not needed when this many tanks are raining down their shots. Most of the Hydras are obliterated. A few Marines survive, but no Hydras, Lings, or charge lots. Meanwhile, this base was taken out. Oh god. The Trail of Tears. The drones try to evacuate. It doesn't get better for them. There are some Vipers on the way, but Cham is now on 5 bases. He has 11 barracks and counting. He's going up to 15. He's got 74 SCVs against combined 65. Cham is going to be back up at 200 supplies soon enough. Some Ravagers. Good luck with that. He tries to get close. He doesn't want to. Looks like Living Dead will have to rename himself Dead Dead. If I were a soup, will rename himself into literally the brain power of a actual soup. Doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Drops the mules! You know what? He deserves it. And Cham smashes the Joes. That game was Cham in the driver's seat from start to finish. From Reapers to more Reapers, and then Marines and tanks. There was a run-by, there was a struggle, but a single Liberator knocked Soup off his feet. and spilled them down the drain, whereas Living Dead was struggling with the existence of Reapers at all for quite a while. They just never found their footing. But the Joes have another chance. Okay. More than one game was played with most of these players. Sometimes you get caught a little off balance. Sometimes the thought of even, like on paper, in Twitch chat, it's so easy to just point out all the mistakes that these top level players are making. But when you're on the other side of the 8-ball, even with someone beside you, even if David had his best friend Braden right next to him, realistically, Goliath is still Goliath. This time we're going to mix it up even more. Cham breaking out. The only other race that he doesn't play in WCS. Cham, a smiley face. And also some probes and pylons. He's picked Protoss. But winding up again for another shot. This time on Emerald City. Probably the most macro-oriented. And this time, both the double Zerg. Essentially, the Legacy of the Void cinematic will hopefully be what we have here. It is Living Dead. And If I Were a Soup. So we've got a Zerg. We've got a Zerg. We got to get him like the football. You know, like in real sports where they have the... Okay, Jimmy. Can we... Pros versus Joes. This Sunday night. Starcraft 2 Super Slam. And
his name is John Cena.
Nope. Jimmy, calm down. What is Cham doing this time? Now, a lot of, like, for example, when it comes to pro players, many of them are incredibly competent, for one reason or another, at the other races. It's rare when you get a pro player who just literally doesn't know how to play the other races. And even if they don't, give them a week or two working on it, and they'll easily be at that Grandmaster level. Doesn't really matter who. But, like, for example, did you know Neeb was Terran in WCS? Well, that should tell you how well he did before he switched to Protoss with Legacy of the Void, but still. He did qualify for WCS Challenger multiple times in Heart of the Swarm as a Terran player. But many of these players, they're off races. It's kind of like Michael Jordan playing baseball. He might not be the best baseball player, but he's a pretty good athlete. So, he's not going to be totally incompetent. Cham gets in, gets a drone, gets out. Did Soup play random? That's a bold move after that first game. No. Oh. What, Soup was off racing? Do you know who you're playing? Not everybody knows Cham, especially maybe the English-speaking audience, not as well versed. But Cham is one of the best players in North America. He's from Mexico. Zerg is bet. Okay. Okay, Soup. Alright. Now let's simmer down. Cham approves. Cham trying to prove how strong Protoss is, that they can beat two Zergs at once. Whereas Soup trying to claim Zerg Imba simultaneously. Resonating glaives on the way. Is this now? This is straight out of like early Legacy of the Void here. I like how Cham is essentially doing a 1v1 build, but just scaling it up. What am I? What is this? Cham! Well, the 1v1 build of losing your adepts and Living Dead with the very Diamond League move of, well, maybe this time he doesn't have anything in his wall. No, he'll probably have something in his wall. Because his select all army hotkey isn't rebound to every single key, my friend. Alright, so we're trying not to do Angry Coach right now. Okay? We have plenty of Diamond League Angry Coaches. But it's hard. It's hard sometimes. I do apologize if it bleeds through. Banelings finishing up with the Adepts. They do have glaives and are incredibly well spread. That's about as cost effective as you're going to get. There is a Spire on the way. It was spotted by Cham. He's already got double Stargate Phoenix in production. But the one thing that Double Star does not get you in this scenario is the map control that you're usually looking for. Now, this is not ideal for Mr. Soup. But Double Stargate in 1v1, if you're able to do Glaive to Depths, get a little damage done into Double Star, you have pretty much total map control, unless they're all-inning you right now. But there's simply... Oh, he's going with the... He's essentially tech switching like a Zerg. We got Double Star. Now whip up the double Robo after the double Gate. I mean, it is 1v2. So I'm interested to see if he just goes full on, like straight to Colossi, or if we're gonna settle down with a more stable, solid Immortal Archon play. He's just no. I only want the good Protoss units. Get those weak-ass Zealots and Stalkers and Tickle Beam Sentries out of here. I want Phoenixes, I want Disruptors, I want Immortals, and I want Colossi. We'll see, though. Be careful not to pick up with every single Phoenix simultaneously. Have some damage being done to Living Dead. The probe count is 61 for Cham. 45 and 33 drones, respectively, for the Joes. So, well, Soup shoring that up a bit. The Phoenix is getting some work done, though. Two Immortals on the way. When the Phoenixes are out of energy and don't really have much HP loss, it's not a great sign for you as a Zerg player, or Zerg players. Plural works too. Charge is coming up. We should see a gateway explosion from Cham right now. If I know my pseudo Protoss. Oh my god, double Forge. How could I forget? Everything must be done in pairs. It's his inner Zerg, okay? Because everybody knows, buy one Zergling, get one Zergling free. So, it's just natural for a Zerg player to do things in pairs. Two more gates on the way. Double Immortal. 4 probes at a time. He's already at 73. Soup going to 73 as well, though. Staying toe-to-toe. The Joes have been allowed to survive. Okay, they've been able to put some economy together. Phoenixes are not going to win the game. Phoenixes, unfortunately, they can't lift everything. They can't lift things like buildings, like massive units, like Ultralisk, your Mother, Archons, Thors. So they don't end the game on their own. But they can do so much damage. It sets the scene for the rest of the units to come in and knock them out. Anitis. Cham spots it, right? Get him with your... Throw your water balloons! Oh, the Immortals walking down. Yeah, that... Those two Hydras were designated blood sacrifices. Blood for the Blood God. At least the Protoss. Oh, oh gosh. The Phoenix Scout pattern. Some sort of deep learning algorithm to find all of the... Well, he actually tapped on one of the Overlords. He's like, no Nidus on this map. Storm is on the way. Cham getting all the good Protoss stuff. But while the Joes have definitely scaled up more slowly, that's the thing. There are two.
Hello there.
Sneaky Roach. 3 Tunneling Claws Roaches, and then 4 over here, and then 23 Mutalisks. They may have... Oh, those Roaches did not survive. So they may have actually utilized the team mechanic and traded resources. I wouldn't be surprised if Living Dead gave some gas to If I Were a Soup in order to get the resources for quite that many mutas. That is a lot of mutas. That is a dangerous amount of mutas. More than I think Cham will be expecting. So the Protoss army storms, coat all the mutas right off the bat. Immortals, this is an incredibly cost-effective army out of Cham. But there's a whole lot of Zerg. A single Archon! The power! Overwhelming. The Roach is waiting for their moment. So Cham has constructed nearly the most powerful near 200 supply of Protoss you can get. But can he actually break through the swarms of Zerg? He only has 1-1 right now. He's working on 2-2. The Roaches are waiting for their moment. Even hiding in the sneaky little bushes there. Or reeds, I don't know. Immortals. Oh, Corrosive Bile knocks a few Templar down. That's going to really reduce the storm potential. I don't know why there are burrowed roaches all over the place like a campaign mission. Meanwhile, the mutas are going to work. He recalls the Phoenixes. Cham is microing back. He has to micro at the front simultaneously. You can't be losing those Phoenixes. Technically, they outrange mutas, but when there's enough mutas, things get dicey. The mutas flying right on home. The Phoenixes are not with the fight. It's just Living Dead left to fend against. He's got double-digit Immortals. Some slow Zerglings coming out to eat some of the shots. Here come the mutas to help with it. The Archons are boxing out. The slow Zerglings in the front. The Phoenixes, just as fast, will match the army. The Archons doing their best from the back. The Zerg army is trying to battle through, where at the same time the Immortals and Archons are standing their ground. The splash damage is overwhelming. The Immortals, no support left over on the ground. He just uses recall. There is no retreat. There is just revenge. The Zergs, the Joes, survive. But wait, there's a Warp Prism. In the main, he's gutting the tech. Cham not going down yet. He's done so much damage. Living Dead has lost all the drones in his main. He's down to 43. The Queens are under attack. Even more charge left's going to work. He's building a mothership back at home. Doing some damage to If I Were a Soup. He's not going to be able to get that valuable Spire. The Warp Prism will escape. 3 Zealots left behind to guard its retreat. They're still waiting for their moment. Anitis. He used the burrowed roaches to get a Nidus Worm, which is an interesting move. Kind of giving away his whole position here. Unfortunately, there is nothing to put in the... Oh, there we go. Wait. Oh, that was his teammate. That was Living Dead doing the Nidus. What a play. That's a next level team gameplay. They're actually working with each other. So while they took some hits, Cham dealing it out just as much. Is there a storm? Tempest and Templar, but this is not a temporary army. This thing could potentially end the game. The charge lot's coming through. He storms. Wait, does he realize there are Burrowed roaches back there. He kind of accidentally hit him, but the attack at the front. A whole bunch of roaches. The Immortals holding their ground. The Tempest going to work. A Nidus coming straight through. The pickups on the Templar. The storm drops could be devastating. Another Nidus, but he pops another one in the corner. Cham under siege. Will try to jump the army in the center. Where are the storms? He finds a couple. The Templar can be lifted back up. The Immortals holding their ground. Where are the rest of the storms? He's juggling back up to the top. The Phoenix is going to work. Nidus pops out. The fourth, that's fifth base. A recall out to the Nexus. It's a bit of a dicey move. It's only Tempest. The Corrosive Vials knock down one immediately. The shield batteries don't have enough energy. The Immortals rotating around. Roaches and Corruptors in the center. More storms chewing through the Zerg. The cost efficiency is there, but the numbers are not. Cham the mothership. There is no detection. They're forced to retreat back into the Nidus. But here comes Soup. The Joe's battering Cham on all sides. He's desperately trying to defend. Right now, he's still maintaining 136 supply. Soup has 182, Living Dead at 100. Cham still has the most workers on the map. He can rebuild as long as he maintains his tech and his infrastructure. The mothership here to shield anything it can. Are there enough Corruptors to take it out? Are there storms? There's not quite enough energy yet. The mothership looks like it'll be targeted down, but how much will he lose? Another Nidus at the front. Actually, that's at the back. It doesn't really matter which side. The Nidus pops out. The mothership has fallen. The Corruptors are looking for the Tempest, but they're going to lose a lot of HP in the process. Are there storms at the front? The Archons are going to work. Some more Tumbling Claws roaches. Another storm on the center mass. The Warp Prism trying to hold. Roach Hydra on the left. The roaches in the center. The Corruptors heading towards the main. Charge Labs warped in. Templar Archives still intact, and the rest of the roaches blasted through. Where did all the Tumbling Claws roaches? They evaporated to the storm and the Immortals. Is Caustic Spray an option? There are plenty of cannons to protect in the main. Cham holds on 4 bases. But everyone has taken hits. The thing is, the Joes, they have survived with a respectable economy. Templar taking the wrong road will pay with their lives. The Corruptors waiting for their moment. The worker count 50, 62, and 72 with Cham in the lead. The Living Dead has all these bases. Another Nidus on the high ground. $19 more roaches on the way. Cham rebuilding his army. 146 supply. The Joes both have more, but it is Roach Hydra. What are the upgrades? 2-2 for both of the Joes. 3-2 for Cham. He's also got, of course, all the fixins. He's got Storm. He's got Immortals. He's got Archons. Well, he had Archons. But wait, more from the side. Gotta be careful not to storm your own observer too much. But this army is absolutely obliterated. But there's another one where that came from. Brood Lords in the corner. A Brood War-esque move. The Roaches continue the siege. There's not much to match this. He's going for Blink. I think he's either realized that Greater Spire is an option or realized he's probably just going to need Blink Stalkers anyways. The Corruptor's going to work. He's hiding in the trees. Stay in the trees! How does Cham deal with this? This is the late game. The supreme late game. The Broodlords from the trees. Cham, 156. Living Dead. Still struggling. He's rebuilt some of his economy. He's rebuilding drones now. There's not much to do with the Immortals against the Broods. Soup taking his time. Yeah, Immortals don't count on Broods, Cham. You as a Zerg player should know that better than most. Mothership is finishing up. It's on the main Nexus, though. There is no detection here. While it can be targeted down by Corruptors, that could be the few seconds he needs to actually take down the Broodlords. There is no counter damage. The rest of the Joe, well, especially Living Dead, has been left to rebuild. And that could be dangerous. The mothership has completed. The main Nexus, the minerals exhausted, the gas depleted. Oh, it's right on top. There's not that many Broodlords. Here comes the Nidus. The Corruptors can do nothing but watch. The Broodlord's being targeted down. What about the Nidus? What about the Nidus? It's an important question. What about the Nidus? He takes down every Brood. He targets the Nidus, and he gets it. A single roach pops out. Cham holds. But there's some more Broods waiting in the trees. Another Nidus in the corner. Cham rebuilding. He has the economy. A few more broods sneaking in, but he cuts them down in the leaves. Okay, I'm still losing so much, but there's nothing in the network right now. Living Dead, I want to point out, has not gotten roach speed. A key upgrade. A critical mistake. In all the action, he hasn't realized roach speed has been lacking. Not that his roaches have moved very far before dying. More broodlords on the way, Soup. Eventually, there won't be enough stalkers. You're gonna need air to air. The broodlings are coming! Oh, he blinks out of broodling strike. But the Zergs, the Joes, everybody's near maxed out. Brenda! Why are these Zerglings almost as slow as us? We are 20 minutes into the match, and we're not getting paid overtime. What is this? But eventually... Cham has secured bases 5 and 6. There's a possibility now we have to consider that because the Joes are, of course, 2 players instead of 1, if Cham holds long enough, they will mine out significantly quicker. That is a possibility. He has the late-game death buffer. Now, the technical counter, you got things like Infestors and Vipers and Queens and upgraded Broodlords, but do you trust these players to control that in the way it needs to be controlled? Oh, the Broodlords! Oh, that's a lot of broods. He realizes immediately. Zergling speed is about to complete. The mothership. The Tempests are sieging. Storms across the board. The mothership. There is no detection. There's no. They can't see. They can't see.
Your forces are taking damage.
Yes, they are indeed. The storms are chasing the broodlords. And the queens are slaughtered. The Nidus is on the way. He recalls much to defend, but he doesn't recall. Oh no, he might have accidentally recalled too little. He may have split his forces too thinly. Here come the Overseers. A lot of those Broodlords have taken massive hits. The Tempest sieging from the back. He's driven it back on this side. The Vipers. The Mothership goes down, but the Broodlords are exposed. Does he have the Storms? Another Nidus at the back here. The Broodlords are evaporating the Storm. The Carrier's not being targeted. A lot of the Interceptors have gone down. There's no actual straight-up anti-air. He's losing some Templar. Cham being spread thinly, but he maintains his 200 supply. Here come the Hydras. The Immortals are standing their ground, but he already used the recall. Where is the support? He needs to get rid of these Broodlords. The Roach Hydra is moving its way up. The Carriers are out of Interceptors. They need ground support. Where are the reinforcements? Storm! The Broodlords are holding. The Broodlords have done so much here. But finally they will fall. Their watch is ended. Have they? Will they? Some Storms warding things off. There are some Vipers in the mix. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Some more Corruptors come up. The Carrier's being whittled down, as are the Interceptors. More Corruptors. At some point, the Corruptors will reign supreme in the skies. They can just... Soup can just entirely commit to Corruptors. Is there another Storm up here? There is one more Storm. He drops it. Blinding Cloud. Cham's army is thinning out. He still has a few Archons. The Vipers are gonna fall. And finally, the Joes will hold. Cham taking his many, many pounds of flesh. But the overwhelming swarm continues to trickle in, and Cham is knocked back down to 133 supply. He does have 72 workers. The Joes, though, have a strong economy. They can still do this for a while yet. They can continue to produce at this rate. Cannons out of nowhere, officer. I swear I didn't see that cannon there when I walked in. The Viper goes down. Are there Storms? There's plenty of energy. Storms. He's gonna actually kill one of the Corruptors as well. That's a whole lot of Hydras. Will they survive the Storm? He drops one Storm. The Mothership comes up into a world of fire. He's got to make a tough decision on whether he storms the Hydras or he storms the Corruptors. He realizes the ground army is the bigger immediate threat. The Tempest coming in. The Zerg. the ground, and the air. The Archons will finish, doing a whole lot of damage, but not enough. The caustic spray on the Nexus, one of the key mining bases. That'll leave just one for Champ, but there's counter damage. Charge lots have cleaned up a base of living dead. This is oh, the force fields! He's holding the line! There are no more storms, though. He's out of splash damage. He has to just hold. The charge lots are doing so much, cutting off the reinforcements. Cham, he has one last immortal. The immortal falls. He's at 88 supply. There's essentially nothing left. The Templar Archives, he's used everything and then some. The charge lots at the back. Oh, from both sides, a beautiful flank. Even the probes. Oh, wait, the probes are just gonna go mine. A Broodlord. Wait, a Broodlord? A surprise Broodlord. Cham holds, but this time, at what cost? Living Dead has lost many of his drones. This base has not been spotted, I don't believe, by Cham. Thus, it survived. Living Dead is almost out of mining. His income is only 800 minerals a minute. He's got a lot of gas. If I Were a Soup has expanded to the whole top right corner. The charge lot's going to work. There's actually not that much of a ground army here to battle Cham. Broodlords will be good, but they're on the other side of the map, and there's only one of them. A whole lot of Zerglings. Banelings wouldn't be a bad call here. But Cham is working on gateway units, which is not where you want to be at this stage of the match. That's a whole lot. What does he have for Ling upgrades? He has 0-0 with no adrenal glands, but he can build so many Banelings. The Stalkers find the base. They're looking for an opportunity. Can he target down the Broodlords? Stalker's going to work. He might want to split off some Zealots. Lings and Banes protecting what's left of living. The Broodlord is taken down. The Corruptors will watch. The ground army going to work. He hasn't split off anything to deal with Joe. I mean, if I were a soup, slash the Joes. The Vipers microed back. That's a whole lot of Banelings without speed. You gotta be careful with those charge lots. The Banelings will be exhausted. Blinding Cloud does essentially nothing. The Banelings are gone. The Zealots will hold their ground. Another round being warped in. Immortals at the back. Cham holding for now. He recalls a singular immortal. He saves it, though. That's what matters. Oh, the Vipers, an actually decent Blinding Cloud, but the Viper's not going to hold forever. Where are the reinforcements? He pulls an immortal in, but is that actually going to accomplish anything? The answer is no. Cham strikes back. Living Dead is down under 100 supply. Cham isn't much higher. The thing here, oh, the Broodlords. The Broodlords. The Broodlords. They have to be the answer. If I Were a Soup is out of gas. He does have plenty of minerals. He's using them on Zerglings, but those Zerglings have no upgrades. He just used the rest of his gas on Banelings. Cham, just with his basic gateway units, has essentially gutted Living Dead's economy. He has 600 minerals per minute. The Broodlords have to finish the fight. He has no air upgrades, just the 5 Broods, but a whole lot of Lings underneath. The Stalkers. Meanwhile, Roach Hydra. Cham getting caught out, unfortunately, here. The Broodlord's going to help out the Lings and Banes. Cham has to fight on 2 fronts. He's going to lose this base for sure. Can he put together enough to deal with the Broods? He's rebuilding his Templar Archives he lost earlier. Roach Hydra going to work. Immortal getting caught, unfortunately. Broodlords doing their absolute best. Soup is still mining, and that is still fueling his incredibly cost-inefficient but continued assault. Are there enough in the way of Stalkers to match this? The Stalkers have 3-3-1 upgrades against 0-0. I mean, there are some Carapace upgrades. I guess we could count that. +2 Carapace does make the Lings a little harder to kill. He's got to blink over the top. There's 1 shot. He's going for the Broods. There's not that much underneath him. Getting 2. Looking for 3. There's only a handful left over. The blink's almost off cooldown. He can blink again. There are plenty of Zerglings down here, though. Things are getting dangerous. The Roach Hydra is here to reinforce. So are the Zerglings. Cham at 100 supply against 240. The Joes are bearing down. The bases are mining out. We're 30 minutes in. Even with a single player mining, they're running out of steam. The probe count is down to 43. Cham has immortals. The Broodlords continue to launch their broodlings from long range. He has to find a way to get through the ground army and the air. It's becoming dicier and dicier. He flanks to the side, gets 2 broods, looking for 3. Only 1 is left over. Cham still finding a way to strike back. He's still mining. Some more charge lots coming up to deal with the ground army. Finally, Roach Speed out of Living Dead. If I Were a Soup is still mining. If he had been able to do anything about his economy, Cham might still be looking at an opportunity, but his opportunities are drying up. He's sending some charge lots out now. Living Dead has been gutted, but you have twice as many players you need to worry about as a standard game. Remember, Cham is actually a Zerg player in WCS, but his Protoss acquitting itself pretty well. The Joes will respond. He recalls some charge lots out. That's how important they are to him right now. Living Dead has put together another Roach Hydra army. The units are out of position, unfortunately, here. I keep saying that because there are a lot of unfortunate things. This Nexus will fall alongside many of the probes. He needs to smash this army with Storm and minimal losses. Oof. That is approximately 1 GG of Broodlords. The economy left unchecked a little too long. He's building 10 more broods. Adrenal glands and +2. If I Were a Soup took a couple minutes to whip out his Prima strategy guide, where it finally said, no, not 4, not 6. Can I get 15 Broodlords? The answer was no, but 11 will have to do, and 126 Zerglings underneath. I don't know if Cham can fight through that. That is a whole lot of lings. He recalls the Zealots. Banelings as well. Unfortunately, time is not in Cham's favor. If I say unfortunately one more time, we're gonna fire Jimmy for writing a bad script. Hashtag rigged. There is no recall, and you're not getting out of here. The Lynx are on the chase. But wait, Storm from the high ground, raining down. The Broodlords are getting closer. Another set of storms! Category 5. But there's Zerg on all sides. The last stand of ire. The turncoat Zerg Cham. Showing off his Protoss. Oh, another. Oh, gets every mainlane! Oh, but 1 or 2. The storms are so good! But I don't know if it's possible to have storms good enough. Not even a super pylon. The Broodlord and Baneling count. Looks like it'll finally... I keep saying that. It looks like enough. Oh, that's a dicey recall. Oh, the Banelings! He recalled probes, so that's not ideal. Blinding Clouds finally finding a good location. Another set of storms. He pulls an Immortal in. The Immortal's happy about it. Gets a Viper. It looks like If I Were a Soup with more army value than the rest of the map and then some. Come to shut the door. Cham. The Joe's losing almost 110,000 resources to Cham's 75. But at the end of the day, The swarm, just a little too strong for a little too long. Down come the broodlings, as well as Cham's supply. He's gonna have to tap it out. The Joes have done it at great length and at great struggle. But the two diamond players have been finally able to take Cham all the way and claim victory. They'll take it home. 35 minutes. But they do attain that victory. GG. The Joes make Cham bleed. And Jimmy says we've got a public service announcement. So if you guys could pause ad block real quick after that, that'd be awesome. Be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Winter, and I'm here to talk to you all about community show matches in StarCraft 2. Have you heard of Dricket? Well, you should, because Dricket wrangles so many nerds to play in these exciting matches for you. And what does he get in return? Pride and accomplishment. But maybe, just maybe, and the ability to reply to your stupid comments on YouTube. And also good comments, but mostly stupid comments. Just saying. But, did you know that there's also a Patreon? Now, as of right now, it's not necessary, but the more resources Dricket has, and I think at this point he's proved himself as a capable administrator and organizer of all these. You would be surprised how hard it is to get pro gamers to show up at the right place at the right time. It is a grandmaster level feat to make that happen on a regular basis, let alone 8 players. So I thought I was just going to do a whole marathon thing, but that game was so goddamn good, it's probably going to end up on YouTube on its own as an advertisement for the rest of the video. So if you're watching that video right now, smash the like button and actually open up the goddamn description and read like a normal human being for 3 seconds. And if you have the means and the motivation, check out that Patreon. And also like and subscribe and all that bullshit. But thank you for supporting StarCraft 2. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you continue to, if this is the long version of the video. We're planning ahead. We do it live. Jimmy! Thank you guys for sticking around. And of course, if you're live on Twitch, please make the very astute comment that this is not YouTube. That is true. If so, just give love in the chat and please subscribe with Twitch Prime so I get more money. So we have so many matches. We have more matches than I'm going to be able to do in one sitting because Dricket sponsored so many. But I'm going to give the people a few options. What do you want to see? So and you don't know yet. Don't be typing things in, or be well. Wait with bated breath in the comments. Alright. What would you like to see next? Starkiller versus 3, but more mid-level players. Cuddle Bear. The American Terran, always for entertaining games. Or Cham as Zerg is the final race we haven't seen up against the Joes. We have those options. What are we doing next? I'll be right back. 2 minutes. We'll edit this part out, I'm sure. Okay, sheeple. I haven't done 1v3? Is this not... Is not a 1v3? Am I lying to the people? So yeah, screw you guys, maybe next time. There's obviously enough interest. Maybe next time. Obviously the people want it. But we will see. So, we will still do Starkiller's match because it is held on one of the Grandmaster Battle Royale maps, Jurassic Puck. So, Starkiller, if you watched my Psystorm Cup coverage, definitely a creative Zerg player. Both loved and despised throughout the North American pro scene for his, let's say, creative early game strategies. His designated crushers. That's a nice way to put it, right? So, what I'm trying to say is cheese. Yeah, he's a cheesy devil. Anyways, let's get into it. Let me introduce you to our professional player from Team Alpha in the top right of Jurassic Puck. Usually used for 8-player free-for-all. So that means there's a lot of space to work with and a lot of bases to take. Is this also on the Bounty Hunter mod that we use sometimes? I'm not sure. Is there any gimmick on the map? We're gonna find out. Nah, nothing weird besides the fact we're playing on what is usually an 8-player map. Just the layout. XD. But our Joes, our 2 diamond players, getting up out of their armchairs, putting down their Twitch chat keyboard, and picking up their mouse for the very first time. From the Cutie Club, a BeastyQT disciple, it is Quasi in the Terran pieces. And Hold. Gonna have fun with that one. So, as I mentioned, any Grandmaster Battle Royale map has access to a whole lot of minerals, and with less than half the players, especially if 2 of them are on a team. Starkiller, those of you may remember, and I might be spoiling it, but Starkiller, the victor, if I'm remembering correctly, of the longest Battle Royale we've had yet. almost as long as an extended edition of Lord of the Rings, coming in at 3.5 hours, including more than 0 trips to Buffalo Wild Wings by Puck, while still being in the game, was Starkiller, surviving the entirety of that ordeal. Starkiller, and then there was a lot of diplomacy, there was a lot of commentary, there was a lot of Puck going AFK while Starkiller lost his Broodlords to cannons, which was pretty... It's worth a watch. Maybe not, even I, as much as I love my ad revenue, maybe not the whole thing. But there are points that are worth looking at. But nothing's happening. Do they even know? Well, Starkiller knows where Quasi is. His overlords have actually spotted. I don't know if the spawn locations are locked in the team games. We will see. Starkiller, now, it's interesting to see the strategies of the pros. And it's interesting to see over time how they decide to change it up. Because we've seen multiple games so far from Beastie and Cham where they favor doing early damage. Early on, like the first game is usually, well, I'm going to macro. Okay? I'm going to macro. But then that doesn't always go perfectly. And then, well, like Beastie just puts a pylon in their base. I think, personally, against your average Diamond Leaguers, the best strategy is to do a minimal pressure. Like, you give a Diamond Leaguer an opportunity to panic, and they'll take it straight to the Battle.net forums. You throw a Reaper, or, I don't know, like a Nidus. Something that doesn't necessarily cost you all of your economy, but definitely forces a strong reaction. And you'll either get an under or overreaction most of the time. And then from there, you can work on solidifying your economy and doing a 200 supply push or something like that. Now, if I was a professional, which I'm in a much higher percentile of people who talk about StarCraft than people who play it. So that's why we're here, and I'm here, not there. But I think that overall, on average, is the best strategy. Charge lot Phoenix up against a Spire. I don't mind this from hold. But he doesn't really have any gateways, so he's not going to be able to bring that to fruition. He's going to get a third. I like how the Joes, you can kind of see where their inspiration comes from. Some players are like, well, I need to try to kill him right now. It's the same thing, I guess, as the pros, but... and some players are, well, maybe this is finally my opportunity to get 3 bases without getting attacked. Oh. Liberator, a bit of a threat. 10 mutas on the way. Starkiller not shying away. It looks like he doesn't want to show his mutas. That Liberator just disappears. He doesn't want to show the mutas too early. How many Phoenixes are on the map? 4 Phoenixes are enough to match 10 mutas with a bit of micro. Battle Cruiser on the way. Straight to air for both sides, but a lot of SCVs could be picked off well before that Battle Cruiser or even the Phoenixes could come into play. So far, he's just going straight for the Marines. That's not nearly enough to deal with this. A medevac going to shore things up a bit. Loses 1 Mutalisk. Where are the Phoenixes? The SCV count down to 29. Starkiller 52 drones. He's going to rotate around, but 5 Phoenixes are easily going to be able to deal with these Mutalisks. Ooh. And of course, these are bases in the center can be taken, but you do have to clear out the natives first, who are apparently so tall they can be hit by Phoenixes, so don't question it. They actually are a threat. You can't just go drop a probe over there and take a base. They will attack it and kill it. So, we are on Jurassic Puck. The dinosaurs are easily angered. Oh, but they cannot attack air, so that seems like a bit of an evolutionary flaw. Another Liberator. Gonna throw its little pillows of splash damage it has against air right now. Remember the good old days, Terrans? Remember the good old days where you could build 14 Liberators and they literally kill everything on the ground and in the air? And also tanks could fly? Great time. Yeah, Liberators used to do significantly more damage air-to-air. Especially to all air-to-air as opposed to just light. An ion. I've never known how to say that. Anion? Doesn't matter. Pulse crystals. Everybody, let's just say, honestly, the fancy names for all this are only used by casters who are using that to sound like they know what they're talking about. That's my excuse for not being able to say it. Phoenix Range is on the way. Gonna make those Phoenixes shooty farther. So far that it's almost impossible to take them down with anything but the Corruptors in position. As you see, they now have purple beams, which everybody knows are better. Like, way better. +1 plus purple beams? Those are some very dangerous Phoenixes. So, Starkiller is continuing to invest in Skyzerg, but that's a lot of supply commitment. I don't know. It looks like the Corruptors got caught attacking the Carracks in the middle of the map. Oh! Remember the Phoenixes being targeted. +1 is done for both sides. The Mutas really don't need to be in the front here, but I guess they have a suicide pact. The scans continue to reveal that, well, the Spire is upgrading. He's going to continue taking to the skies. It's a questionable decision. More scans across the board. Quasi providing intelligence report, with his Terran map hacks, which are also known as Scan. Wait, is the name just Scan? Scan or Sweep? Did you know that? I mean, I guess. But the Corruptor's going to work. The Phoenix is not being microed back. Is there Storm? He does have Storm, but the Templar are getting caught out a little. He's going for carriers now, but he's lost the rest of the air support. Easy to dodge out of the storms here. There is a single medevac leading the charge, like a tugboat with 4 battlecruisers. Oh. And then the ground army is going to walk all the way around the scenic route, because there is no ground path to the center. It is essentially an island. Jurassic Park. Somebody called Jeff Goldblum. Stalker's going to work, but the Corruptor's easily able to wipe out all the air. If the Muta count is high enough to wipe out the ground, then suddenly that becomes a much dicier situation. Does Starkiller realize the Terran army is on the way? 4 battlecruisers, a bunch of Marines. They don't have stim. Combat shields are +1, but they're in the mail right now. The battlecruisers themselves are pretty scared, but there's about to be +2 Corruptors. So Starkiller should, on paper, have what he needs to deal with this. That Muta, oh wow, having a pretty bad day. The Baneling Nest's going to be targeted before the air units can come back to defend. Battlecruiser's going to work. Where are the Corruptors? They're late to the party. A lot of damage is already being done before the fight really starts. The battlecruiser not jumping yet. It just kind of disappeared. Another one goes down. More Muta's going to work. It looks like he will clear this up. His tactical jump on cooldown? I don't think so. He wants to lull Starkiller into a false sense of security. Apparently even I'm having a breakdown over here. Very sneaky moves from Quasi. The Joes so far, like, it's weird. It almost feels like a map of this size should definitely feel like there are more players. So it's a little odd. It feels like they're almost fighting a proxy war, even when they're in each other's bases. Because it's so long for ground armies to get across the map. And games are usually not won outright by air armies. Yes, carriers and broodlords and all that, but without ground support, they become very vulnerable. A Vendiah scan gonna spot everything being replaced in the same spot it just was. The Marines are rallied across. A mothership is on the way for hold. The muta count is getting a little out of hand here. He's at 26 mutas, 8 corruptors. Ah! Okay! Alright! That's gonna be a no-go against those cannons. Widowmine finds a connection, but banelings are rolling through. Well, not rolling, they're waddling through, but that'll be good enough. The Marines aren't gonna cut it against the Lings and Banes. They have +2 against just +1 with no medevac. It's almost like a tower defense game where every minute or two, another wave of Marines will come up you gotta deal with. So yeah, the mutas will no longer be going through this location, though there's quite an Artosis pylon. The Corruptor's going to work. Muta's chasing down the medevacs, wishing they stayed home today. The Terran looking to be the weaker point in the defense. It's 198, 187 for the Zerg, and the Protoss and the Terran languishing at 92 for now. Banelings with speed are in production. The War Prism a little ahead of its time. Corruptor's easily going to knock down the carriers until the mothership shows up, drawing fire for a few more seconds, but here come the Marines underneath. The banelings rolling through. Oh, God. Terrible damage done. A bunch of stalkers and, well, some more carriers are coming up. He goes a little deeper into the Joe's base and finds a stauncher defense. Starkiller going to be forced back. Lings and Lisks. Not going to cut it for now, but maybe 22 more mutas will help. He's got a hive done. +1 flyer carapace, a second spire. At some point, he may make his spire great for the very first time. Starkiller's sitting on 86 drones. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases. He's got all the income he could ever ask for. But he's up against the Joes, who are a long way from home. Mutas are not oh my God. If there's anything that kills mutas, it is 5 Archons that are apparently walled into the main base and are very angry they cannot get out. I heard a DT. I don't know what a DT is attacking. Ah, yes, the natural predator of rocks. The Dark Templar. The rocks will never see it coming. The caustic spray going to work here, though. It's more than enough the Nexus falls. There's still plenty of Nexi to mine from. A few of the mutas getting caught out on the reinforcements. Scans across the board. Some carriers being caught, being delivered to the army. Starkiller doing a good job of cutting off reinforcements. He can maybe pick up the fleet beacon or just go for Stargate Command. The Nexus is next on the chopping block. Quasi working up in supplies at 134, Terran player. Some Lings, I have no idea. They're on a world tour. Not all will survive. Actually, probably none will. How did you get here? Will they make it? Running past everything. Pylons, probes, gateways. More pylons, more gateways. Back the other way. Nothing else matters. They want to confirm what they saw. And then finally their moment. Nothing else matters. The Banelings, they will have +2. An attack in. Battle cruiser is going to work. Is there Yamato? There is not. It's in production. There's not that much anti-air. The Muta is waiting for their moment. The Banelings have rolled all the way through for now. These ones gonna find probes. 50 probes. Suddenly down to 33. Lings and Banes eviscerating the economy of Quasi. In fact, the engineering bay going to be targeted down, but fortunately for him, and now here's the real pro-gamer move. He just doesn't have any Marines. More Lings going to work. The economy's shattered for the Joes. I still hear a Zergling. That Zergling with 4 kills. Starkiller continues to send swarms across the map. Let's go to the Joe Cam.
Our allies' base is
It's gotta
under
feel
attack.
something like a campaign mission right now. The Mutas, and the Corruptors, and the Lings, and the Banes. You can never move out of your base. Let's go to Hold's Cam. He's trying to escape. Maybe at some point they can attack, but the waves get stronger and stronger. Better upgrades, better units, more supply. In the darkness, the Zerg are lurking. They're trying to put things together.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Oh no. An interesting tactical jump. But he comes to support the army. The Zerg. Where are their ground forces? But the combined supply of the Joes? 280 plus. That's a whole lot of Archons. Double-digit Archons. 7 Immortals. Archons very good against Mutas. Are there any Greater Spires? He does have a Greater Spire. He's probably going to need it. Starkiller, a little bit hamstrung by the fact he does have so many drones. This base is absolutely eviscerated, eliminated, obliterated. The Archons continue to march. That's a lot of Archons. They do extra damage against biological. You know what's biological for Zerg? Literally everything. 1 Ultralisk in production. He's got Ultra Speed. The Death Ball of the Joes, though. Battle Cruisers, Archons, and Immortals. Up against Lings and Lisks of every flavor. That's just so many Archons. He can't fight that. Starkiller is supply blocked. The Greater Spire is vulnerable. 13 Broods! Where are they? They're close. Does he have actually enough anti-air? He has 26 Mutas. I don't know if that's enough to fight. Those are 1-1 battle cruisers. If the Archons get any hits off, it's not enough to fight. And the Mutas are on the other side of the map. He's building 2 more spires. He's about to lose the hive. The economy and the tech will be gutted. More battle cruisers on the way. The Broodlords. Oh, it's not time. Oh, he jumps. He jumps home. And Starkiller flies away. And suddenly the Broodlords, their time is now.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The Broodlings are trapping the Archons. Does he recall? Recall. No! The Archons cannot escape. Some of them are trying to come back. The battle cruisers are on the way across the map. But by the time they get there, their tactical jump was too far. The Broodlings raining down. Will he be able to get close enough? The Ultras, the Lings, the Lists. You gotta be careful with those Mutas. You gotta be careful with those Mutas. Looks like some units being caught. The battlecruisers are on the way, but Starkiller managed to isolate 1 army at a time. There are some DTs in the mix. The splash damage of the Ultras is killing the DTs. Reinforcements are on the way, but none of them shoot up. The battlecruisers are looking for a target. The thing is, I don't know if the Mutas can beat it. Is there enough anti-air? The Broodlords, now the opposite problem. The scans across the board. What are the upgrades? +2/+2 in the air. He's going to go straight for the cruisers. Is there a Yamato Valley? Yes, there is. Who comes out on top of this? He targets many of the Corruptors, the key units here. There are no reinforcements. There are so many battle cruisers. How much money does Starkiller have? He has enough to rebuild, but he loses his entire air fleet. The battle cruisers easily wipe the skies of Zerg. 17 more Corruptors on the way, but there are 15 battle cruisers. I'm not a mathematician, but I don't think those numbers add up for Zerg. There's a mothership. The Broodlords, honestly at this point, okay, he's not sacrificing the Broods, but the Zerg, 200 supply of Zerg, just simply struggle, especially without infestors, to beat. Oh, he drops the mules! Is it for repair? He can pretend, but we all know He drops the mules against a pro player. The valleys of Yamato's. Where is the Starkiller down to 1 base? He's down to 114 supply. The Joes both have more. The inexorable grind to double-digit battle cruisers. The Joes will take it. Up against Starkiller. Jurassic Puck will make the Zerg extinct. But Starkiller will have another opportunity. I think part of the issue for Starkiller there. And the Joes, they struggled, but it's hard to kill both. Because just having a few units in support makes it, even if Starkiller has the numbers to kill one, if they play their cards right. But he has another opportunity. Oh. I can't believe you did this, Tricket. I think you told me. But I think the people are going to like this one. Because you know what year it is? 2014. You know why? Zombies. We're on Zombie Fest Winter. How dare you? So, a massive map where zombies apparently will be spawning throughout it. And Starkiller, interesting map, LOL. That's pro gamer speak for why are you making me do this? But in the top right, spawning is Zerg from Team Alpha. Starkiller. And apparently 3 to 4 miles away past zombie-infested terrain. Starkiller not a fan of any maps. We have Hold and Quasi. The zombies. So I'm not sure. There are so many. If you look on the arcade, there are so many custom games. And there are so many mods for those custom games where let's make the game more interesting. How do we do that? Add so many zombies that all the people who are on arcade who at best have Windows XP Service Pack 1 on their sick Pentium 4 processor and will lag out in a 1v1 that goes above 50 supply. Let's add 500 zombies per minute. Let's do that. And that seems to be a running trend with less than creative arcade maps. But maybe this time they'll upgrade to Windows 7. So, I hope there's a scenario here. I guess there's a scenario where the zombies wipe out the players first. Because a lot of the times in these zombie maps, if you expand too rapidly, the zombies get real rustled up about that. I'm not sure what kind of brain cells they put together on this one, but there's a lot of them. There's a whole lot of them, including infested marines, not just like the little slap buckets. These are now for free, by the way. What's for free, Dricket? free show matches for everyone to watch, even if they don't subscribe to the GM Battle Royale Patreon that you can find in the description or in the link in the Twitch chat. That's what's for free. You didn't have to explain that. I don't know if you want to actually destroy the... Okay, zombies don't pop out. So apparently this is inspired by the Night of the Dead co-op map slash... Well, originally campaign mission, and then co-op map. Except it's always nighttime. So it's essentially just... Well, Sarah would thrive here because in Finland, as you all know, half of the year, it is nighttime. And then the other half of the year, they fight the trolls. So, Sarah was very ready to become another champion, even if this map is included. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, this is worse. This is scarier. And it's also shinier. He's just lifted up. He's immediate panic. Okay, wait. Things are happening. I think. I don't... Very scary. I like how he just preemptively is evacuating his base. I think nighttime means zombies are scarier. I think they start attacking. Oh, the swarm! They're coming. We cannot get out. There's nowhere to run. The spine crawlers will hold for now. It appears Quasi smelled what the zombies were cooking. What? The Oracle, there's not much anti-air for now, but there is some. They're chipping away. The spine crawlers, the backbone of the defense. Oh my god, they burrow. Are you kidding me? Waiting for their moment. Shield batteries could be at a premium. Okay, let's make it... I gotta make it cinematic for this one. We're gonna have GSL life bars. Wait, that's better, but... The spines will hold. And then on the other side... The gates, the Stargate under fire. They're losing so much. There's not... That's actually so many zombies. Down goes the Oracle. Shield batteries are finishing. Hold is not holding. Starkiller's being overrun. Oh, what a micro god! But hold is absolutely done here. The Marines are holding the line. Quasi getting out ahead of this. Mutas come out, but I don't know if Mutas are going to make the difference. It looks like trying to expand was maybe a little optimistic. How long does the night continue? The Night of the Dead. Now the Marines are being gunned down by their infested counterparts. What is this map? It's a zombie fest, and you're not invited. But winter is, apparently. A battlecruiser jumps into the fray. It has so much armor it can help clear these out. But down goes Hold's base. Starkiller, his mute account, and day breaks. Unfortunately, that won't help Hold, who's already lost so much. Quasi's gonna hold Starkiller. Starkiller maintains a decent worker count, so does Quasi. Hold. The sun broke through just in time. Starkiller, I don't know what he's trying. He's trying to clear out the zombies. I don't know if that's... I guess this is mostly the non-anti-air zombies. What are they called? Terrans, just straight up infested. Wait, infested Marines and infested Terrans are different things, apparently. Little confusing. The Joes have the advantage of having a friend to rely on, have their back. The battlecruiser has cleared out 31 zombies. Have they seen each other? Do they even know where anyone else is? Somehow this overlord has made it. No, they've just been fighting the map so far. That's it. So in a lot of these maps, the zombies get upgrades. Yep. Usually each cycle, they get another upgrade, but they don't stop at 3-3. Eventually the zombies have so much armor, they're almost impossible to kill with regular units. Oh my god, it's nighttime again. It really is Finland. Okay. Oh, an aberration! The mutas are doing their best, but the aberration pops up. Things are getting even dicier. The spine crawler's gonna try to hold the line. Quasi has a couple tanks, but the aberration charging through has so much extra HP. Hold. Well, he's got battlecruiser support, and he's gonna need it. Starkiller doing a pretty good job here. The aberration is so dangerous. He needs the battlecruisers to come back. He needs Yamato cannon. It has how much? It has 1 base armor, but it has 450 HP. That's almost as much as an Ultra. Oh my god, slapping through. 6 kills. The battlecruiser desperately trying to deal with the horde. The Muta's doing a much better job. Hold now has some cannons. He's going to work. They're desperate. More battlecruisers come out, but just the sheer amount of zombies. Starkiller doing a good job. He just has so many mutas now. Does he have upgrades? He doesn't have air upgrades. He's working on +1 air. There's not enough infested Marines that are really struggling against this. Starkiller doing well for himself. The orbital! The orbital! Do you even lift? No! Oh! He's got to get it back to the high ground. There are no Marines in place. He might be able to repair. The SCVs are pulled off the line. The boys, not just one. This is not the time to budget. What a risky maneuver. The aberrations continue forward. Even Starkiller is struggling. They're still making it up the ramp. Hold is himself. So there's not unlimited minerals. This isn't BGH. The minerals will run out. Starkiller's looking to do some damage. He's thinking, oh wait, is this a critical mistake? The zombies are starting to break through, but he's going for Hold's base. He's gonna find it. The probes are essentially undefended. And without the probes, he doesn't have income. And with he doesn't have income. Oh, the battlecruisers jump in. The battlecruiser completely out of position. The zombies are working through. There's not that many mutas back at home. The spines aren't doing the damage quick enough. You can't recall mutas. He has to make the world tour. The aberrations are slapping at the spine. Has he made a critical overextension? Starkiller, is he the architect of his own demise? He's trying to damage the economies of the Terran and the Protoss. Day will break. The Yamato cannons come out. It appears that will be a reprieve for Starkiller. 9 and 5 workers for the Joes, respectively. Wait, what the hell is that? Diablo, Lord of Terror! Excuse me? What? There's Diablos? But the battlecruiser jumps into the main. There are more battlecruisers where that came from. Battlecruisers don't go down easy. Except when they just disappear into the night. Oh, Starkiller is not screwing around anymore. Unlike my webcam. The Logitech drivers are drunk at the wheel. Do they shoot up? Does Diablo shoot up? No. Wait, are those like banelings? It looks like that's a baneling. That's a baneling-looking thing. That means the defenses, if they get close. Oh, the Templar targeted! Will there be a single Archon? No, dead on arrival. The battlecruisers jump. Oh, they jumped to the other side. What a play! And nighttime falls. Oh, mutually assured destruction. Meanwhile, the spine crawlers do nothing against the cruisers. They help against the aberrations. The mutas are on the way back, but the defenses are being shattered from both sides. Starkiller's down to 11 drones. He got too greedy, trying to kill his opponents. And now he himself is vulnerable to the Terrans and the infested Terrans. Even though they themselves might be overrun. The Yamato cannons looking too strong. The battle cruisers holding the line. Well, are there enough mutas to take down the cruisers? He may have to cancel +2 air. I don't know if it'll matter. He taps it out. Despite the zombies breaking through the bases, his base will be broken first. Starkiller with a critical miscalculation. And he will be forced to tap it out. Because remember, Terran buildings can fly. And I gotta say, this was possibly... Well, this was definitely one of the better executions of a zombie map that I have seen. Zombie maps can sometimes just be super annoying, but I gotta give credit there that it felt like the zombies were a real threat without being either non-existent or overwhelming. Which is... And also, one of the big issues that zombies have, for those of you that play those modes, sometimes they don't have detection, sometimes they don't have anti-air. There seemed to be a nice mix. So, Starkiller, unfortunately, too greedy with his mutas. And will die to the battlecruisers. But we have another challenger. Cuddle Bear. Against a team of Joes. The American Terran. We have yet to see a main race Terran player play Terran against the Joes. Just a few more games. Once again, thank you to Dricket for putting these on. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed thus far. We have a whole lot of games. These are only the highlights, really. Jimmy! Thank you. Oh. Terrans across the board. First, the challengers, the Diamond Leaguers. From the Gosu crew. Apparently sponsoring this match. The Gosu crew as well. So, the sponsors will Cuddle Bear go easy on him? I doubt it. No effects. And Thor. Purple and blue. And then, on the opposite side from Team Alpha, it is Cuddle Bear. Don't let his name fool you, though. He's ferocious. He's gone toe-to-toe with players like Puck. He's a WCS challenger. One of the best Terrans in North America. And he's about to get double proxy raised. It's Team Gosu. Gosu crew is different. So wait, you're telling me that it's Team Gosu crew? It's Team C. They have 3 levels. It's the C team of the Gosu. So it's like everybody else goes in the C level. You got your A team, you got your B team, and then you got your C. We still have other players team. Whereas on the other side for Team Alpha, we have the professional player Cuddle Bear. what a guy. Why am I saying what a guy? I don't know. Like that. That's one of those things when you zone out as a caster. You just throw some phrases in with confidence, and then you read the production tab, and you're back on track. Cuddlebear opting for 2 Reapers of his own off the reactor. We got 2 Reapers in production for Thor. On the opposite side, a command center and expand on the way for his teammates, so he's covering for him essentially, but Cuddlebear will have the Reapers to match. And Cup will come in. Cuddlebear's going to need to deal with this as quick as possible. His starport delayed, but better the starport than losing SCVs. 4 Reapers up against 2 and a Hellion. Cuddlebear with a nice grenade to kick things off. They might want to share control here. We will have to see. The Reapers working their way up. Pop to the top. Now, it's risky to stay around for too long, because Hellions can actually drive slightly quicker than Reapers can run. So now the Reapers are kind of stuck in the main. We'll have to see who comes out on top of this. A bit of a confusing exchange. Cuddlebear's... there are so many Terran units. It's getting hard to keep track. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I know, like, there's an argument to be made for damaged life bars or for selected life bars, but I've tried it in the past, and as much as I think it might be better for casting, my brain doesn't work without all the information. I don't care how cluttered up the screen gets. I need those health bars. So, hopefully, you guys won't tune out. I think that's a bit of a replay bug, is some of the units just disappearing on occasion, and animation glitching out. Or they went to the alternate universe. Or maybe both. 1 Reaper made it into the main, but Cuddlebear has actually put together a very strong force. He's got himself 5 Reapers and 3 Hellions. What's back at home? There's a tank. 1 tank doesn't stop this. 2 might. Yeah, 2 tanks should be more than enough. That second tank sieging up literally just in time. Takes out a Hellion. But what is this? A Liberator. Is there any anti-air? He proxied 2 racks on the other side. He has literally no anti-air. He has to rely on his teammate. Oh no, he's microing Reapers. Now is not the time. And that, wait, Cuddlebear's Reapers get in as well. The SCVs being obliterated. The Vikings will deal with the Liberator, but he ain't done yet. Cuddlebear defends at home and now starts working on the Joe's economy. All right, they're just blue mineral SCVs. They're trying to make some sort of income. They got mules taking their jobs. They got new expansions. They're sending all their SCVs all the way over to the natural. They're just trying to make a living. And then the Reapers come in with their grenades. Like, well, the opposing Terrans aren't sending their best. They're sending their Liberators. They're sending their Hellions. They're sending their Reapers. And while we built the wall, we neglected to consider that sometimes flying units exist. And guess what? So do Hellions. Things getting even more lit as more SCVs are going down. Down to 7. The economy immolated for Thor. His teammate maintains a decent spot, but Thor has less than he started with. Some Reapers at the front, pretty much all he has left over. Oh my god, the Hellions, they don't let up. But 82 supply against 54 for Cuddlebear. At this point, Thor is a non-issue, which is one of the few times that will be said. Cuddlebear gonna queue up some attacks. He's got defenses at home. He's now working on the economy of the other teammate. Every second that passes allows Cuddlebear to set up better defenses, as well as kill more SCVs. This 1 Hellion has racked up 10 kills and counting. It appears that it's going to be ignored. Oh no. He's really going to try to break this. That 1 Hellion is slowly whittling down his economy at home. The Vikings technical air control, 15 kills. One Hellion making all the difference. The Vikings pushing through. He does have air control. That Hellion, oh my god. Cuddle Bear won't stop. He can't stop. He's still going. He dodges the tank. He gets so much done. And suddenly Noah is now second in the worker count. He's down to 32. The Joes have lost so many SCVs to singular units. Cuddle Bear staying on top of it. But air control still goes to the Joes. Maybe a little forward. Vision. He doesn't have vision. That's a big deal. That's a really big... Oh, no, he didn't target the tanks! He stepped a little too far. And guess what now? The tanks will be driven back. Target fired. Even the Vikings taking some big hits. Cuddle Bear queuing everything up and knocking it down. Cuddle Bear with an overwhelming defense, which doesn't even make sense until you watch that happen. That struck right on back. They stepped far too close to the bear. And as cuddly as a bear looks, it's still a goddamn bear. And it will maul you. As Cuddle Bear did that. One on the way. Production coming together. Cuddle Bear laying down his third. He's got 49 SCVs. He's looking to be in a in a 1v1. He's in a comfortable spot. It's not a 1v1, but still looking very good. Scan on the other side. Gets a beat on all the tech. He might not realize this is some sort of biomech hybrid out of Noah. An interesting patrol. Now, it doesn't appear Cuddle Bear is straight contesting air control. It's hard to... Well, I love this move from Noah. He has a third CC. He actually was building that for a while to have it by now. He's putting it at the gold. I think the Joes are making the right moves now. You had your shot. You had your shot to go big game hunting. You missed. That's the simple version. Don't overdo it. This is the definition of overdoing it, by the way. This is what overdoing it looks like. Now, if it pays off, Cuddle Bear, he's not paying attention. He's losing all of his tanks. Whoa, Cuddle Bear! He loses all but one tank. Okay, that's actually surprising. The Vikings were chasing the barracks, which is quite a dangerous target, but not as dangerous as Liberators. Cuddle Bear losing all those tanks, an uncharacteristic slip-up. I'm looking to see. It looks like there was no counter damage. He wasn't doing anything else. He was just not paying attention for a second. And that's going to be a big hit. That's a lot of his key units. While the supplies, like the tank count is so important. The tank is a force multiplier. For every tank you have on the high ground, that's worth a dozen or so Marines for a fraction of the supply. The scans spot this out. High ground vision. Well, the sensor tower helps to see when he needs to scan. Cuddle Bear knows he was spotted. Okay, we get it. You can see it. There's more scans than a Walmart checkout right now. Liberator could be targeted. Vikings next on the agenda. Okay, well, he got plenty of the Vikings. Maybe he picks up a tank as well. He broke through the tanks at the front. They were all alone, and now they're dead. Just like that one and all the Vikings. 120 supply, but 150 for the Joes. He's going to try to drop on top. That's a risky move. Loses a medevac almost full of Marines. Cuddle Bear. He's stressed. You can see it. This is not a... It was looking great for him, but you got to give credit to the Joes. They buckled down. They put some pressure on Cuddle Bear, and then they've recovered pretty well. Like, they haven't just panicked and went all in. In fact, Noah has 4 bases. The fact that Thor is still in the game at all is nice. Nice for him. So while Cuddle Bear still maintains an upgrade advantage and a supply advantage over any individual player, the closer we get to 200 supplies across the board, the harder it gets for our professional. Because at the very end of the day, more shit counters less shit. Now, you can fudge the numbers with micro and macro, but only so much. At some point, There are just too many Marines. It is not this point. Cuddle Bear still going to get out. He's trying to whittle things down. Looks like he's trying to line up for a 2-2 timing here. He does have his 2-2 upgrades. Many Diamond players don't even know those upgrades exist. Tell me I'm wrong, Terran players. Of course, Noah is not one of them. The Marines making an agreement. I guess Cuddle Bear's Marines did not agree to this. A double drop looking for an orbital. Are there any planetaries up here? No planetaries, so drop still very effective. He's running down the ramp. This is risky business. Tank shots, gonna bite off some Marines. The drops, what is going on? Cuddle Bear gonna lose a drop to a turret! He's trying to get so much damage done, but he's a little off target. Drop lands in the main, though. A lot of damage is being done. Noah is down to 60 SCVs. The Marines are going to find more. Join up with another medevac. Many of the Marines and, in fact, SCVs in the main. Cuddle Bear finds an opportunity to break out of his base. A whole bunch of SCVs of this base are exposed. Noah trying to... Well, he's just going straight for the attack. He's given up on defense. That's it. The spirit is broken, but the tanks are on the high ground. What is the Viking count? Not enough for either Cuddle Bear or Noah to make a huge difference. 3 tanks caught out. He's decided maybe now is the time for defense. But he's already lost so many SCVs. He's down to 31. 134, 106. A combined 240 supply up against 160. But another orbital falls. The upgrades now +2/+2 for Cuddle Bear against 1-1 for the Joes. Cuddle Bear trying to take a decisive fight. He knows his army is bigger than any individual player right now, and he has the better upgrades. All he has to do is get him to fight into the tanks, and he might be able to do the critical damage. There you go, the Marines standing their ground. Tank siege up on both sides. Where are the reinforcements? Thor is wrapping around the back, or he might go for the base trade. Cuddle Bear spread a little bit thin here. Some of Noah's tanks caught out. Cuddle Bear a bit in limbo. Scans across the board from a lot of people. I'm not exactly sure whose scan is whose. Cuddle Bear might be able to collapse. The units are moving up. He saw it with the sensor tower. He can't quite get up this ramp. Oh, the boys are pulled! Oh my god, and it's an absolute obliteration. The boys tanked enough damage. The tanks held strong. This army forced to pick up into medevacs and retreat, so it's not a total victory for Cuddle Bear. But he beats back Thor's army and escapes from Noah's. He's going to drop on top of the tanks. Didn't work out perfectly. He is driven back to his base. The Joes are closing in from both sides, but Cuddle Bear still maintains a good supply. This is a very optimistic base. Oh no, they're running in, but they're not coordinated. One army will be smashed. And then he rotates around to the right. He actually just drops the CC in their face. Cuddle Bear driving the Terrans back. The trickle needs to be a flood. Otherwise, Cuddle Bear not even close to drowning. Just 3 tanks out here. He could easily drop on that. More units rallied across. Need to calm down. Cuddle Bear continues to consolidate. The tanks are trying to escape. The Marines are giving chase. The worker count's pretty rough for the Joes. In fact, Thor has the better economy now after the SCV massacre. 3 tanks, not going to be... Oh, that is a planetary. Almost in the perfect position to defend this base. What are the mech weapons upgrades? 2-2, well, 2-1 for Noah, but... +3 attack about to finish for Cuddle Bear. More tanks, but not nearly enough to stop these Marines with +3 attack. Medevac's going down to Liberator Splash. Liberators are going to siege up. Good luck repairing that. There's even a drop on the left side. Cuddle Bear will not be stopped. More damage being done. That is a planetary. The planetary enough to drive back at least a singular drop. That's just not enough units. You can't give them 4 or 5 units at a time. That's an appetizer right there. He'll eat it and come back wanting more. Where's the entree? Cuddle Bear's at 170. Thor is now going to have to be the savior for the Joes. He's ramped up his production. He's got a huge army. Noah's been whittled down piece by piece. He now has essentially no mining, as each Marine is rallied dutifully into its death. But guess what? Here comes Thor. Good luck breaking that. 4 tanks, a planetary fortress, a last stand. But Cuddle Bear is holding the line. There's still a lot of bio here. The rally point continues. The planetary getting in on the action. Cuddle Bear with a huge army looking at their production. He's pincering them from both sides. He's tearing them apart. Dropping on the tanks. He's gonna finish what he started. It looked for a moment like they might be able to bring it together. But divide and conquer. The Joes are shattered. Their production could not keep up as Cuddle Bear ravages their bases. G. Cuddle Bear takes it. A strong display of Terran versus Terran there. It just felt like Cuddle Bear was playing against a particularly strong Terran opponent. I don't know if that's a dig or if that's a compliment to the Joes. But he was struggling. But at the end of the day, it did, like, because everybody was going Marine tank. Everybody was building Vikings. Everybody has the same units. Cuddle Bear wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. There were medevacs lost to turrets. There were Marines lost to tanks. There were tanks lost to Liberators. But at the end of the day, and it's the little things. It's the details. It's the details that you don't always see, especially if you're watching a cast or even a stream. It's not the big fight at the front with all the tanks. It's the one Hellion that kills 12 SCVs. It's the one Liberator that forces the end of mining. It's the drop that kills 20 SCVs at a base while everybody's trying to micro their Marines in the front. Those are the things that add up and matter at the end of the day. And those are the things that allow everybody to go in. You start with the same set of pieces. It's like a chessboard, essentially. Not directly, but don't pick it apart. But everybody has the same pieces, except the Joes start with twice as many pieces. Somehow Cuddle Bear still comes out on top. That's the beauty of Starcraft, or, depending on who you are, the most stressful part. You start with the same pieces as Maru, as Cyril, as Need. But it's how you use them that matters at the end of the day. We've got one last match. I think there's so many games from Dricket. That we wanted to bring in one more. Well, once again, if you haven't yet, if this ends up on YouTube, which it almost certainly will, smash the like button. Ring the bell, subscribe, leave a comment about which Joes you could play better than and which pros are washed up. Or maybe I'm in Silver League and I haven't played since Heart of the Swarm, but I could, if I had 5 friends, I could take Scarlet. We might be able to make that happen. Check out Patreon. Let's talk about it. Want to get one professional Protoss in. But yeah, honestly, if this type of video or this type of event is popular, like, this is what we try to do. Just speaking for myself and so far in proxy for Dricket, everybody's seen your show matches before, even of the top players. You got your Scarlet versus Special. You can find that. Puck versus Cuddlebear. You can find that. Neeb versus the World. You can find that. But there's still so much more to StarCraft. It's so many. It's one of the only games I say you can. StarCraft, you can variety stream StarCraft. You can't, like, as hard as I might try, there's not much variety streaming to be done in Rocket League. Okay? For example. And I love Rocket League, but so there's so many things and such a dynamic set of options. There's a reason StarCraft is older than some of its WCS champions. And because there's nothing like it and nothing better. And one last game to figure out who is better. Calm down. In the top left, our professional player from Infinity Gaming. A lot of you might not know him if you've watched a whole lot of NA, but one of the best European Protoss from WCS Challenger. It is Goblin. A well-known, he is a very Protoss. And I'll let everyone interpret that however they want to. And our diamond players are Joes in the bottom right. The Candyman. And also Evil Wasp. Is he max paxing 2 Terrans? Oh my god. So, it's a PVT. It's a PVTT. Oh, it's a 2-gate proxy. Okay, I thought he was going to max pax it. It's a straight up 2-gate proxy. We've seen a lot of different options from these players. But overall, I think the strategies that have had the most success for the pros have been when they apply some early aggression. Give the diamonds a chance to make a mistake, because it's very likely they will. So applying pressure early of any kind, even if they defend, could leave them in an awkward spot that a professional player is going to have a much easier time recovering from than a less experienced one. A Twitch chat grandmaster, if you would. I mean, if we consult the chart, then there is quite a disparity. But they found it. They found it! They found the proxy. The Reaper comes up. There is a hard wall at the top. They're just going to cancel the base. Reaper's going to work. Micro across the board. Banking up 900 minerals is Evil Wasp. He really wants to make sure he doesn't lose his Reaper to a Zealot. Oh my god. Goblin. Goblin, you dirty Protoss. You dirty Protoss boy. The Candyman can't even believe what he's seeing. A true Protoss is Protoss. 3 shield batteries and another pylon to back it up. He's decided to take the fight to them. A true challenge. 2 Protoss at once. I mean, 2 Terrans at once. Oh, the Reaper gets picked off. The bunkers are nowhere to be seen. Widowmine is on the way. Shield batteries are complete. More Stalkers are being produced. Good luck with that supply depot. Good luck with that bunker. Good luck with that Widow meme. He gives away the Zealot. The boys are pulled. He's going to try to box out that supply depot. Actually creates a wall here for Goblin. Oh no, the Reapers. The Reapers! Not going to find. And he could just recharge the shields with the battery. The Stalker's going forward. Another Widow meme. The Widow Mines, he doesn't want to lose Stalkers. He has no way of dodging the Widow Mine shots. An Adept could do it. He immediately starts one. With what we like to call a true pro gamer move, throwing the shade and dodging the Widow Mine shot. It requires precise timing, but it's almost a routine at this point for Protoss. The Stalkers are in the base, rampaging. The only thing this could be described as is a spree. Oh, he takes down another Widow Mine. He could break out the supply depot. Can lose one Stalker to the Nether Realm. Oh, the Stalkers. What are you gonna do? They're killing everything. Goblin behind this doesn't. He's been on one base. That is the only saving grace. There's a second command center for the Candyman if they can survive. But they're still going to work. A tank is about to be finished. If he could actually keep a tank alive, there's a dream for the Joe Terrans. The double scan, the Vendaya scan, spots the bases. Blink is on the way. Oh, the tank. He tried to dodge the Widow meme. Blink is way off, though. The boys are pulled, trying to protect this Cyclone. The Marauder helping out a lot. The tank. Oh, Unsieges at the worst time! The Cyclone! So dangerous. Oh, tank shots, putting a lot of splash damage on. He's going to finally need to use those shield batteries. The Candyman microing his way back. The tank is moving up. They're resecuring their own main. But at what cost? The worker count, 1916. You know what? Considering there's a command center done, there are 2 factories, and they're still at pretty solid worker counts, I'd say the Joes handled this. It wasn't great, but they handled it. It's been handled. Okay, now it's less handled. Uh-oh. Oh my. Okay. Is Blink done? No. The tank shots they really hurt. It's been handled. The rocks are next. You get out of here. We don't like your kind around here. The tanks will work their way through. Blink is nearly done. 5 seconds out. Trying to use that last little bit of energy on the shield batteries. He won't blink up, right? Blink is done. Don't do it. He has the high ground. Another scan. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? Don't do it! Don't do it! The blink! Oh, he blinks into the Widow Mines! Goblin! He went too deep! He bit off way more than he could hope to chew. Blinks out of a Marauder shot, keeping him busy, but... So suddenly... Joe Terrans find themselves in actually a pretty nice spot. With those Stalkers still roaming around, it's still a dangerous game, but killing that many Stalkers, that was an optimistic Blink at best. That's the danger of Blink Stalkers. If you get Blink for your Stalkers, you feel like you have to Blink your Stalkers, and this can sometimes end in disaster, as we see here. Still doing a good job whittling down. Like, imagine if he had 10 Stalkers right now. Like... Blink! So... The game will go on. In fact, this is actually a pretty rough spot for Goblin. This might be the first time we see a pro player. Even if this was 1v1, I think he'd be struggling. Maybe Evil Wasp would have trouble, but there are 2, and they both have been mass expanding with those extra minerals. So Goblin has a lot of work on his agenda. More Stalkers being warped in. That's pretty much all you can do. You gotta at least pretend to be aggressive. Keep them busy. Looks like we're gonna get the mech bio split. Do it. Does he see where the tank is? And he's in the main. The Terran army struggles back. SCVs will be going down the Raven. Would be a big get. Blinks out. Meanwhile, Charge Lot's in the main. Unfortunately, angry at his own refinery for not repelling the Zealots, the Candyman will destroy it. Interference Matrix! Oh no. Blink Stalkers on the low ground, but Goblin's actually going to lose all the Stalkers. Goblin once again throwing away many of his units. He now has the economy to back it up because at the end of the day, more stuff counters less stuff. He has lost a lot, but when you have 50 probes up against 30 and 23 workers, and you keep, like, you can trade inefficiently. We are still, there's plenty of resources on the map. We're well away from even mining out our first bases. So, yeah, the Zealot bombs onto the tanks. Friendly and unfriendly fire. Easily going to get rid of that. Blue Flame Hellions. It's going to be Mech and Bio from each Terran respectively. He's really just playing the war of attrition here. Keeping the Terrans back until maybe he can put together an overwhelming force. We have 2-2 on the way. Wait, 2-1. Goblin has been feigning strength this whole time. Now, one Terran army on its own is not going to beat... Well, it might actually beat what Goblin has, but 2 Terran armies combined, by their powers combined, would be more than enough to smash Goblin's army, to be honest. But one at a time, trickling in, is how the Joes can falter. The tanks aren't sieged. There are no medevacs. Where is his team? He's just going to send up the Raven in. He even hallucinated Zealots. I don't know how intentional that was. He gave up his entire army to drop 2 auto turrets. I don't know about that trade. Raven racks up 5 kills. Goblin maintains a 20 worker lead. So now, this can't be a tower defense game. Goblin will exploit that. He's a Goblin. He's a Protoss. But I repeat myself. They will pray where you're weak and feign strength where you're strong. The charge lots in the main. Zealots chopping through. The Joes, like, they need to pull it together. That's the simple version. We've seen divided, they falter, but together, strength in unity, loyalty until death. The Terran Republic. If they do not get together, group up, and combine their forces, they will be smashed. They will be whittled down, all alone, by themselves. Each one of their SCVs will be slaughtered. Goblin now has 5 bases. He's on a 2. He's full powerhouse Protoss right now. This is essentially maximum economy. 3,000 minerals and 1,000 gas a minute. He can put 30 zealots a minute on the field, and he's not hesitating to do so. Or Prism, Storm, Stalkers everywhere. It feels like Goblin's the one with 2 players, not the Joes. Where is the interference matrix? Where is it? There it is. But he gets the armory. And this base, oh no, it's a disaster. He canceled his +2 attack. Oh no, Candyman. He canceled his +2 attack because he thought the engineering bay was going to die. But if the engineering bay dies, it gets refunded anyways. Oh, the Terrans are so scared of a singular Protoss. They just can't pull it together. And now Goblin. The hardest part is finishing the game. When there are so many tanks and there's so much defensive capability, Goblin's going to struggle even with this supply to finish the game. How do you do that? Take to the skies. Air weapons, Stargate, Storm, already triple Stargate. Fleet Beacon is nearly done. These 5 Stalkers. I said he lost so many Stalkers earlier. Imagine if he had more. Apparently he didn't need more. These 5 Stalkers have been terrorizing hundreds of supply of Terran. Five kills, 5 kills, 4 kills, 3 kills, 5 kills. And just think of the mental damage they've done. PTSD, post-traumatic stalker disorder. It's a real thing. Oh no. The War Prism pulls so much back. The Terran armies are combining. There are no medevacs with this. The Storm a little bit early. Oh no. Gotta be. Oh no. And a feedback. There will be no Raven spells, but the tanks will siege for both sides. Charizlot's still going to work. The War Prism continues unabated. Goblin, he is maxed out, but that's a whole lot of Terran. 250 Terran supply total. It's not all here. The supply depots will keep those Zealots busy as it lies. Something of a chew toy. There are multiple carriers, but just enough carriers that the interceptors can be easily gunned down. Once you get over 5 or 6, that's when it gets dicier. The Zealots are just having their way with the main base. The Terrans have given up. The Joes are putting all their eggs in this one Terran push basket. They have nearly 300 supply. And much of that is an army. The turret will finally stop the Prism, where no unit could. The Interceptors are being taken out. The Thors are here. The Immortals are trying to blast through. There's a lot of tanks, though. If the anti-air can be removed, but the ground army is gone. The Storms will ward away the Marines for now. They don't have medevacs. Every stim hurts. Goblin is struggling. He's putting more out there. The Zealots are still going at it, but there's only so many. The Stalkers are back. The tanks are pushing. There's not much support for them. Goblin is pushed back. His natural will fall. The carriers are rebuilding those interceptors. He storms the Widow Mines. That actually uses a Widow Mine shot, but more carriers are on the way. The worker count's now 17 for Candyman. 54 still for Evil Wasp. Another War Prism to keep it out of the fray. Goblin is struggling. The Terrans are dipping, but there's still so much at the front. The Zealots have just eviscerated. He's going to be supply blocked for the next 3 years. Widow Mines are recharging. Wait, the Raven survived! More? The Raven? I don't know. He keeps microing that Raven instead of doing anything else. He's going to look for the auto turrets. The carriers are trying to build up. Goblin holding on. Does he have anything at the back? The base is under fire. There's nowhere left to retreat to. The turrets are going to work. Reinforcements are on the way. The Terran armies. Their economies are gutted. Evil Wasp still has something, but Candyman is struggling. He's building Marines, and that's it. But Marines might be enough. Where are the Storms? Here comes Goblin. The big break. Anti-armor missile going to be very helpful. Storm on the tank. Storm on the center mass. The carriers working their way through. Immortals from the high ground. Is the interceptor count high enough? The Thors are doing their absolute best. Has he broken it? The carriers are living. The interceptors, still 20 of them. The probes are transferring into death. But the carriers survive. Goblin survives. The ever-sneaky Raven survives. But now there are 8 carriers. Goblin lost a fair amount of probes. He still has Nexi. He can rebuild the probes. leaving us in a bit of an awkward scenario where this is an incredibly well upgraded Protoss army with medium economy against some epic Evil Wasp needs to build anti-air. That's the summary. The Marines with 1-1. The air weapons aren't that huge. This is going to have to be a situation where you... Well, goodbye, Raven. You got to kill the interceptors. You're not going to be able to kill the carriers. If you try to target down the carriers, you're gonna lose everything. The turrets are coming up. Does he have high-sec auto tracking? The TPM will raise. There's not enough Vikings here. Oh no, there's one charge lot. Are the charge lots still in the main? I hear charge lot. Oh my god. Of course. A single thorn eventually driven so deep into the Terran side with those handful of charge lots. It got infected. It spread to the rest of the Terran production, and they're slowly bleeding out. Not a single gas unit on a Candyman. The timing where Goblin is weak is quickly passing. He's back up to 60 probes. He has enough income to rebuild his army. And if he gets back to 200, I don't think the Terrans will even get close to competing. I don't know. The Terrans do not realize any of the bases on the left side exist. Some Marines will go scout them out. In fact, these ones might have an opportunity. Goblin has the money to warp in Zealots. Oh, if the Zealots warp in, these Marines are super dead. The stutter step is good. The upgrades are not. The Terran army's high impact Thors, hopefully having a high impact on the game. The Templar and the carriers have arrived. This push, not as strong as the last one, but with a more focused army. Directly looking at the carriers. The interceptors, a lot of them will go down. The Templar! They will dodge the first storm. A lot of the interceptors are falling, but enough. The storms are covering. The storms also hit, but oh, the classic Thorn. A single charge lot or two charge lots in the mineral line. It's an absolute disaster. There's absolutely no way to deal with that. The Thors are going to work. They're looking for the carriers. They're trying to target. They might find one. They won't. Goblin has found the weak point. The Marines addicted to stim will find peace in pieces. The charge lots have eviscerated the bases. The economies are gone. The units are gone. The hope is gone. The Joes. 14 kills on the Zealot. The carriers have the momentum carried from all the way. He lost his natural. Oh, I don't even know if that was his natural, but his third base. He lost his fourth. He lost almost everything but the carriers. But he didn't lose the carriers. And when a Protoss can still send 2 to 3 charge lots across the map, a Protoss still has a dream. And this dream became a nightmare for the Terrans. The Joes. Goblin, remember this started with a 2-gate. He tried to push in. He almost killed them right off of that. He threw away so many stalkers, but the fear of Protoss deep within their diamond Terran hearts was too much. And Goblin held, and he held, and he almost broke. He bent, but he did not break. Everything's crumbling. He's microing Marines. Not sure that's a long-term option. The Viking count is actually pretty damn high, if only there weren't the Templar. The Joes on this day will tap it out. And Goblin will take it home maintaining pro status. Another win for the pros. A bit of a split. Today, all one pro against 2 diamonds in various maps and various forms. Hopefully you enjoyed. If this is the long version of the video or just the normal version of the stream, hopefully you did enjoy. Thank you to Drickit for putting it on. Of course, check out the Patreon in the description for info on how you could potentially participate. Or just in general, Drickit will send me info on how you can participate in these events when they're happening live. But today we learn why there's a difference between Twitch chat Grandmaster and Grandmaster. I'm not saying any of these players are the ones coming into Twitch chat criticizing a player 3k MMR above them as to why they didn't micro their Marines slightly better, or why they didn't go for disruptors, or why they didn't just build infestors. Today, they fought, and many of them died. But we learned that gods can bleed. And we learned why they're pros. We learned a whole lot of things. What did you learn? Tell me in the comments, in the chat. Very important. Like and subscribe and ring the bell. And what do you want to see? Do you want to see Cyril versus 8 bronze players? Or 7 bronze players? Do you want to see, I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything clever right off the bat. I don't know. Scarlet versus 4 golds. We can potentially make that happen. More than just your one-on-one, your top-level matches. You can find those. There's so much Starcraft to watch, even in 2024 today. But hopefully you enjoyed this version, this flavor. And hopefully you enjoy in the future. Thank you to Drickit. Thank you to you guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.